Yeah, good morning all. Today we are going to start with the R session. R is one of the statistical tool which we are going to use for the data science. As we have discussed in demo, we have three different tools which are prominent in data science industry. Those are R, Python and SAS. We are going to start with R and then after Python. R and Python are the open source we will get from the internet. We have R is the one of the first open source for the data science, and it is having more user base as compared to any other tool. Even we don't have a much user base Python. Of course, general Python we do have. For Python data science, we don't have a much user base as R. R was founded in 1999 in Aklada University. Aklada is one of the place in New Zealand. Aklada is one of the place in New Zealand. Two scientists, Roseret Rosuman, their names start with the R. Roseret R. Rosuman R. So by using the first name, they kept as an R. Their first name they kept as an R. Here R is a after that 1990 they developed it. In 2005, Bell Laboratories has acquired from the Aklada University. Bell Laboratories, which is in USA. In 2012 and 2030, Microsoft has acquired R from the Bell Laboratories. Under R, now we have a two versions. One is the desktop version. Second one is enterprise version. We have two versions. One is the desktop version and second one is enterprise version. Desktop version is we can download from the internet. It is free of cost. It is purely depend. Desktop version purely depends on the RAM size. Desktop version purely depends on RAM size. Desktop version purely depends on RAM size. Enterprise version runs under the Azure platform. Enterprise version runs under the Azure platform. Every year you need to go for the license. It costs you around of course around $1,000. You need to pay for the license for enterprise version $1,000. For this you will get the some space in the cloud to keep your data sets. Data set means all your files, all these things, all your data under the Azure platform. Let's talk about the R. And here in this case, R is an open source. Whenever you want to learn any tool, for example, whenever everyone says that we are very new to the data science, we don't know how do we start. We don't have any coding language. We don't have any coding knowledge. All these things. If you want to learn any tool in the data science point of view, you need to remember three basic fundas. Those are basic environment of a tool, basic environment of a tool. Next will be how do we write the syntaxes, and then coding. Of course, coding means we cannot write 100 lines of code. We don't have much thing. We have a one line code or two line code. That is also very simple, very easy. basic environment of a tool, syntax and coding. Here we have the various things. How do we discuss? Let me discuss about the basic environment, all this thing. R is, again let me repeat, R is an open source. If you want to learn any tool, data science tool, you need to learn about the three basic things. First, to any tool, not only the R, Python, SAS, anything, first try to understand what is the basic environment of a tool. Next one, syntax. Next one is the coding capabilities. Here in this case, how do we do? First benefit is the large number of user base connectivity. Second one is open source. Third one is more flexible. Third one is more flexible. Fourth one is most of the research scholars means who are pursuing their PhDs or higher education, or especially into the data science, or especially into the statistics, they don't have any tool perform the data science, right? Of course, SAS is a licensed version. Python, they have started for data science recently, 2 years, from last 1.5 years or 2 years, not much more than that. They want to do any algorithms, or they want to apply, or they want to create any algorithms, or they want to use the algorithm. They don't have any other tool apart from the R tool. So what was they doing? Most of the research scholars, they're contributing much to the R. So some of the algorithms, latest algorithms, which are not yet available in Python or SAS, let's say as an example, we have one algorithm called SVM. SVM is the one of the deep learning algorithm. SVM means support vector missions. SVM means support vector missions. Support vector mission, which is not yet available in Python as well as SAS. It is purely available in R. Of course, in Python, SVM is available, but it is only for the linear data, not for the non-linear data. What do you mean by linear and what do you mean by non-linear? We will discuss about it. We have some time to discuss in the coming session. We will discuss about what do you mean by linear, what do you mean by non-linear. And R is purely depends on the RAM size. R is purely depends on the RAM size. R is purely depends on the RAM size. Purely depends on the RAM size. These are the basic, very important points for the R. And one more interesting point, sixth point, one of the interesting point. R is a more graphic visualization capabilities. R is more graphical visualization capabilities. R is more graphic visualization capabilities. We have some packages. Package is nothing but collection of functions here. What do you mean by package? We'll discuss in next 15-20 minutes. We'll discuss about what do you mean package, all these things. R is a more graphical visualization capability. And here we need to remember one more point. How do we get the data into R? R is a one tool, right? So as a data scientist, you are a data scientist, assume that you are a data scientist. What is your ultimate goal? You have to do the analysis. As the definition of data science means art of making decision by using the historical data. Now, when will you make a decision? When will you make a decision? When you require business requirement, then only you will make a decision. Okay. When business requirement make a decision, when they want to implement something, when they will try to implement, by using the data, that means whenever they do have some data with me, the data means historical data. Historical means previous data. Whenever they do have a previous data or past data or historical data, then only they will try to implement something new. Here in this case, how many ways we will get the data? How many ways we will get the data? We will receive the data in two ways. We will receive the data in two ways. One is the flat files, other one is servers. We will receive the data in two ways. One is the flat files, other one is servers. In the flat files, we have the .txt files, .csv file, .xls. Fourth one is .xlsx are the flat files. The flat files, the combination of .txt files, .csv files, .xls file, .xlsx. These all four formats are called as the flat files. Server means it can be SQL server, it can be MySQL server, it can be Teradata, it can be ODBC, it can be Spark, it can be any data. It can be Hadoop or anything. Depends on the company to company. Whatever the server, they do have a server. That server, servers will be Teradata server. Next will be your SQL server, MySQL, Hadoop, Spark, any other extra etc. Depends on the company to company, ODBs, all this. You have a data somewhere. Based on the data, you are connecting to the, you are connecting to the R. Means you have a data some location, either maybe it is a flat file. Of course, flat files also it should be stored somewhere in your desktop or somewhere ever in your C drive or somewhere ever D drive, somewhere in your, there is some physical path also will be there for the flat files. Let's say you are storing in a hard disk. So hard disk you cannot directly link with the hard disk with R tool, right? You have to place your data to the either C drive or D drive or your desktop. Or your data is in a server, that means you need to connect with the server. Once you have connected with the R, then only from the R we will do the analysis. Depends on the whatever the analysis we have to do, and then we will finally give the some insights or recommendations. Insights are recommended. This is how it works. First we have a data. We are connecting the data with R tool. From R we will do the some analysis, and from the analysis we will discuss about the insights and recommendations. Insights and recommendation. Now let's discuss the content what we are going to discuss in R tool. How do we install the R? How do we install the R? Let me show you how do we install the R. Have you written all this? Can I write this one? Any questions who are on the call? Any questions?
Data files, how we will get through mails or
Depend again. How do we receive the data files? Some companies, if you are working with the same company, they might send you the emails. Or for example, let's say X is a one company, service-based company. Y company wants to send a file. Then in that case, they might send you through servers, SFTP servers, secured file transfer protocol. Depends again company to company. Here in this case, how do we do? Let's go to the google.com. Here, locate, download R for Windows. Download R for the Windows. Here the first tab, everyone will get the first tab. Here the first tab, download R 3.3 for Windows, R project for statistical computing. Here this is the version, download R 3.43 for Windows. This is the version, download R 3.4.3 for Windows. Here go here and this is how, let me send you the link who are on the call so that they can able to so here you can download this one. It is around 62, I mean you can use for 62, I mean 64-bit Windows or as well as 32-bit Windows. Once it is downloaded, around it is 80 MB are there, something like 75 to 80 MB are there. Once it has been downloaded, you just need to install. Don't do anything, just go to the next. Okay, that is how we will install the. If you have faced any difficulties, please let me know, I will help you. Next one, R is a command line prompt. R is a command line prompt. As a freshers, like as a beginner, fresher means as a beginner into the data science, if you want to learn an R, it will be a bit difficult to learn under the command line prompt. So what the R company, Microsoft, what they have done, they created the one R Studio. R is a command line prompt. It will be difficult for beginners to learn R under the command prompt. So what the Microsoft, what they have done, they created the R Studio. They have created R Studio. They have created R Studio. What does the R Studio? R Studio is just a front end part for the R tool. R Studio is a front end part for R tool. R Studio is a front end part of R tool. Here in this case, how R Studio works. How R Studio works, we are going to do not only here in our course curriculum, in real time also, whenever you are working in the industry also, 99.99% members are using the R Studio. R Studio is just a front end part for the R. And how we are going to use the same curriculum, same to the how it looks like, it is going to be exactly the same in the industry. It is both in desktop version as well as the enterprise version. Both are the same. R Studio is an UI. UI means user interface. R Studio is an UI. UI means user interface. UI means user interface. How UI is different? How it is happen? For example, if you run any command in R Studio, what will happen? It will go back to the R, executed over there in R, and fetches the results and displayed in R Studio. Let me show you how does it looks like. For example, we have a R Studio. You pass the one command. A is equal to 2 plus 5. A is equal to 2 plus 5. You pass this command. it go back and executed in R, because R is a kernel for us. Kernel means where our actual programs runs, and it fetches the results and displayed the results in R Studio. Here A is equal to 7. That is how it works. That means R Studio is just skin. R Studio is a just skin or front end portion of R. In R you don't know where the data sets are going to be stored. Of course, it is going to be stored in your temporary memory, that is on RAM. But what are the tables you have created? You cannot able to see all these things. What you need to write always the command. As a learner or as a beginner to learn the course, it will be really difficult. Even in the industry also, to perform the operations simultaneously, it will be really difficult. For easy user base purpose or easy understanding purpose, they have created the R Studio. R Studio or both are the same. R Studio is just a front end part. Suppose whatever the query you are writing in R Studio, it go back to the R, executed in R over there, fetches the results and displayed in R Studio. Now let me show you how do we download the R Studio. Now you may get the doubt. We have a separate software R. We have a separate software for the R Studio. Do I require two software to perform in R Studio, or do I require only R Studio? We require both. If you install the R Studio, it doesn't work. If you want to perform operation R Studio, you have to be mandatory. You need to have the R along with the R Studio, because R Studio is just a front end part, but backend need to be run. When you are running a command, backend also need to be run. Backend is your R. So if you want to run the R Studio, make sure that you have to be both R as well as the R Studio. Now we saw how do we download the R. Now let me go with the how do we download with the R Studio. Go to here Google, download R Studio for Windows. Download R Studio for Windows. Here you can see the tab download R Studio. You can see the tab download R Studio. Here if you come down, here see installer for supported platform, under that we have a R Studio 1.1.419 Windows Vista 7, 8, 10, which consists of 85 MB. This is the software you have to download. First, open the Google Chrome, type in download R Studio for Windows. First go to the first tab. Once you open the first tab, under the first tab you can see the installer for the supported platform. Under there you have a one thing, R Studio 1.149 Windows Vista 7, 8, 10. Let me send you, even I will send you guys who are in offline also. This is how we need to download the R Studio. Now let me show you how does R Studio looks like. Let me open how does R Studio looks like. Once you open the R Studio, let's go to the Windows 10 looks like this, but Windows 7, go to your Windows Start button. There type R Studio. Then they type R Studio. Don't give the space. Don't give the space. R space Studio. It doesn't work. R without space studio, like R Studio. This is the one it looks like. This is the one it looks like. Open this one. It is opening. For me, there is a lot many things are there. Let me remove all these things. Okay, no worry. Here now let it be interactive session. How many sessions are you guys are able to see? How many windows are you able to see? 4 windows. The left top one, wherever my cursor is, this window is called as the editor window. The left top editor, this editor, wherever my cursor is running, my cursor is grooming, that window is called as the editor window. Editor window will help us to write the codes or to write the commands. Whatever we have written the commands in the editor window, it is going to be stored with the file name .extension.r file name. For example, you have written the 10 commands. All the 10 commands are going to be stored into the, if you want to save in your local desktop. How does it save? Let's say you are saving the name data science class 1. How does it save? It saves data science underscore class 1 or data science class 1 dot r file, because your editor window is going to be stored with the file name dot r. Here bottom left you can see the console. Console, this is the console window. Bottom left window, this is the console window. Console window will help us, will work for both input as well as output window. Console window works for the both input and output window. Here can you see the global environment, the right top? Here global environment, whatever the tables or whatever the files you have created, it is going to be stored in the global environment. Whatever the tables, whatever the files or whatever the objects we have created, it is going to be stored into the global environment. Here you can see the 3 tabs: environment, history, connections. Everyone can able to see the 3 tabs: environment, history, connections, right? Here in environment, here can you see the import data sets? Here import data set means here we have a from text. If your data is in the flat files, as I discussed, we are receiving the data in 2 formats. One is the flat files and other one is servers. Whenever you are receiving the data from the flat file, the data can be a like a text file, data can be a XLS file, data can be XLSX, data can be a CSV file. From text base means reading the data from the text file. From the text reader, that means reading the data from the CSV file. From Excel means reading the data from both .xls file or .xlsx. .xls means extension .xls means, what does it mean? The MS Office which are storing from 1999 to 2003, which is going to be stored in .xls. From 2007 onwards, it is going to be stored in .xlsx. Here up to 2007, up to 2003, we have maximum number of rows in our data will be 65,000 in Excel sheet. If you open the Excel sheet, let me open the Excel sheet like this. Mine is Excel 2016, which is the latest one. Here, this is how our Excel sheet looks like. We have around like 1 lakh records, almost 1 million records. 1 million means 10 lakh records. If it is a file is a .xls, I mean, let's say one file is a class file, for example, class file .xls. That means maximum number of rows in that file will be 65,538 something or there, 65,000. If you have a dot XLS extension, XLS extension, it will be the number of rows are 1 million records. 1 million means 10 lakh records. Here the number of records which are 1048576. These are the maximum number of. What if your data is more than 1 million record? What if your data is more than 104857? Let's say your data is 2 million record. How do you store? Are you able to store in the flat files? Excel doesn't support, text file doesn't support, and CSV also up to 1 million only. It doesn't support more than 1 million records. Then what will you do? You need to go for the server. How do we connect with the server? Now here we have a SPSS SAS. SAS is the SPS is the which is the tool developed by the IBM company. Now they are using for the analysis purpose all these things. And Stata is the one of the oldest software that is no more available. Here you can see the history. History means whatever the commands you have executed both in the editor window as well as in the console window. Once the command has been executed, it is going to be stored in the history. Whatever the command you have executed in the editor window as well as in the console window, each and every command is going to be stored in the history window. Here after the history window, you can, let's say I have selected this one, AUC ROC, right sir? Here to console means where does it will come? To console means AUC of ROC.
Left side.
Yeah. For example, AUC of ROC to source. Where does it go? To source means source editor. Even for example, you would forget to save your code or save your command. It is going to be stored in the history. Then go here and select the command wherever you want. Do you want to store in the source editor? But whatever the data you have in the console, you are not going to be stored. You don't have a right to store. Whatever the commands you have written in the source editor only, you are going to be stored. Unless until you are clear the history, each and every command will be stored in the history. Here, can you see the brush button? Can everyone able to see the brush button? Here, unless until you are closing this session, each and every information is going to be available in the history. Yeah. And for example, when it is going to be, even you did not click the button on history button, still the information may be available, may not be available. When the case will happen, let's say temporary files, let's say go to the window button here, window R. Can you see the temporary, like a temp, let's say temporary, like let's say, yeah, all these temporary files. If you close these temporary files, automatically whatever the information which is in the history, it is also going to be vanished. You cannot get it back. And you may get the doubt. You are explaining about the flat file. How do we connect with the server? Here you can see the connections. Third tab is the connection. Go to the connection. Here local means it will connect to the ODBC server. But make sure that whenever you would like to try to connect with the server, make sure that server has been installed in your system. Unless until server has not been installed in your system, you cannot able to connect to the server. For example, you want to make a new connection. How do you make the new connection? Here you can see the new connection. Go to the new connection. It is taking some time because yeah, here we have a Spark SQL server. If you go, let's say if you click on the SQL server, it is asking parameter. Parameter means what is the username, what is the database, I mean database port number will be there. Let's say what is the password, all these things. Whenever you know all these things, now you may get that. Where do I get this? In the real time. Real time, it will provided by the company itself. The username, password, database link, each and everything will be different from company to company. And here go to the back, you can connect to the Spark also. Like how do we establish the your master, your DPLR, which server we need to connect. For that, even if you want to connect this, definitely we require the Hadoop server or Spark in our system. Then only you can able to connect. Otherwise, you cannot able to connect. Yet after some time, whenever you importing the data from the servers, at that time we will look into the how do we establish a connection, all these things. Just as a next, just as of now, we are discussing about the overall view of the app. Once we are importing, starting to import the data set, at the moment we will discuss how do we connect to the servers. Okay. Yes, tell me. Yes, any
See, we
question?
are unable to listen your voice. It may be.
Not able to
I
listen.
could.
Yeah, hi. Are you clear now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are not able to listen. Yeah, now it is clear.
Yep. Okay. We are able to establish the connection. That is how we will do the connection. Here, right bottom, we have the five flat like five tabs: files, plots, packages, help, and viewer. Right? Can you see the five here? Files, plots, packages, help, and viewer. Here in the files, whatever the files you have in the documents, like your downloads, all these things will be there. Plots means whenever you generated graphs or you draw the plots like scatter plot, like diagram, like histogram, like bar plot, like anything, whatever the graphs you generate, everything is going to be stored in the plots. Packages. This is the one of the important session.
Oh, Cody, your voice is not clear.
Voice is not clear.
Speaking.
Hello. Can you? Is it clear now? Hello. Hello.
Yes, it was breaking. And when you were explaining about new connections, we couldn't able to hear it properly.
Yep. Here,
I'm not sure what you explained.
new connections. It is clear now, right? New connections means here whenever, for example, as we discussed, servers are different types like Teradata, SQL Server, Spark, Lavi, all these things. Let's say you would like to connect with the SQL server. Let's click on the SQL server. You may get the doubt why you can see only the three like Livy, Spark, SQL Server. Can't I able to get the Teradata? Can't I able to get the MySQL? Can't I able to get the ODBC? Local means ODBC. So can't I get the other software? So for that we need to install the packages. Package. What do you mean by package? We will get within another next 5 minutes. What do you mean package? How do we install the packages? We will get it. Let's say you would like to connect with SQL server. How do you connect with the SQL server? Go to the SQL server. Here, can you see the parameters? Here it is asking connection DB connect. We have a library. If you want to install the SQL server, we have a package called DBI, database interconnectivity. DBI means database interconnectivity. Connection DB connect ODBC connection string drivers. Driver means you need to give the path where you are going to be stored it. What is your path? File path. I mean path means what is your server path location? That is the database path. What is the user name? What is the password? That purely again from company to company, from industry to industry. Industry means let's say TCS is there, let's say Infosys is there, let's say IBM is there. From company to company, when they are connecting the server, their username, their password, their server name, everything, each and everything will be different from others. How do we connect these things? We will discuss later on whenever we are importing the data into the R. At the moment, we will discuss about these things. Now, is it clear now? Hello? Again the same issue? Hello?
Still breaking.
Still breaking.
What you said for other databases, how to connect MySQL, those things?
Here, for that, we need to install the packages. How do we get the packages? For that, we need.
Cody, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, here we have a packages.
Okay.
Packages will help us to create, I mean, suppose, what do you mean by package? Package is nothing but collection of functions. Package is nothing but collection of function. By default, we don't have any function present or available under the RStudio or R, anything. By default, we don't have any packages available under the R tool. If you want to get the packages, first you need to install the package. Package is nothing but collection of functions. There are in total RStudio, there are 7,000 packages are available. By default, whenever you install the RStudio, there are 30 packages are available under the RStudio. By default, there are 30 packages are available. How do you install the package? Here under the packages, can you see the two tabs, install and update? For example, any new update, any new feature has been added to the existing package, it will be displayed under the update version. Connection lost. Okay, no problem. Let them go. Any new features has been added to the, it will update in the update. So here in this case, what we are going to do, we have a install package. Here in the install package, we have a separated package are there, like let's say in the install, when you click on the install, let's say A, B, C, let's say here we have a separate package, each and every, let's say we have a various package, let's say E1071. This is the one package. As I said, the SVM is the one package which is not yet available in other tools, which is available under the R tool, right? If you want to work on SVM algorithm, you have to require one package. The package name is called as the E1071. Go to the install. E1071. Here package, again let me repeat, package is the collection of functions. By default, R doesn't have any packages. Each and every pack, if you want to get the packages, everything is going to be stored in the R core. If you want to get the packages, first what you need to do, you need to install the function. Collection of functions are called as the package. How do you get? Here we have two things, install and update. Here in the install, go to the install button. Here you can see whatever the packages, and you may get the doubt. Total there were 7,000 packages are available under the RStudio. Do I need to remember all the 7,000 packages?
Koti?
Yeah. Yes. Do I need to remember all 7,000 packages? No, we are not going to require to remember all 7,000 packages. What we need to do, we just have to remember only the 30 or 40 packages. For each and every, for example, we have a one machine learning neural network, we have an algorithm. We have package name is also neural network. For example, we have a one algorithm called random forest. There is a package name as well as algorithm name. For the 99.99% of the cases, package name and algorithm names are both are the same only. Now let's do the things. How do we do it? Here in this case, let's perform the basic operations under the editor window. Once we done with the basic operation, then we will go with the packages and all the extension work. Here in this case, 2 plus 5. If you want to run this one, how many ways we can execute this code? Here select the code command, basically 2 plus 5. Can you see a run button? Can you see a run button? Yes, it is going to be stored in the 2 plus 5 is 7. How many? That is the one way. Select the command and use the run button. Other way around, select the command like 2 plus 7 and use the control plus enter. First way to run, select the command, use the run button. Second way to use the command, select and use the control plus enter. Third way to run, keep the cursor end of the command. End of the command is after 5 is the end of the command, then use the control plus enter. Fourth way is run the command, use the control plus enter. Start of the 4 ways we can execute the command. First one is select the command, use the run button. Second way is select the command, use the control plus enter. Third way is keep the cursor at the end of the command, use control plus enter. Fourth way is keep the cursor at the start of the command, use the control plus enter. If you keep the cursor at the start of the command, it will only execute particular line. It will not execute enter all the command. Let's say if I have 10 command, it will not execute all the 10 command. It will only execute at only one command. Even if you select if you want, you can select all the 10 commands at a time. You can execute it. Even if you want only 1 or 2 commands, even if you want, you can execute that also. No issue at all. Next point will be, let's say, only can we do this one 2 plus 5? Can we do 100 minus 70? 100 minus.
What is one doubt?
Yes, tell me.
To execute these simple mathematical functions, what packages are required?
Simple mathematical function, there is a dpyl, there is a one package. By default, it has been installed in our R tool. For simple mathematical function, we doesn't require any packages. We doesn't require to install any packages. You can perform all the simple mathematical operation standalone without using any package. Is it clear? Yeah. Here,
Yes, Koti.
yeah. Here we are going to use the 100 minus 7. What is the output we are going to get? We are going to get an output 93. Here we got an output. Now we may get that. As when I discussed about the introduction about the console window, we said that console window we can write the commands in the console window also. Let's say I am writing the 100 minus 7. Again, I am writing the 100 minus 7. Whenever you writing the commands in the console window, you doesn't require to use the control plus enter. Just what you need to do, just you need to type enter. When you write the command in the console window, just you need to type the console window. As I said, the one point very clear. Whatever the commands you are executed both in the console window as well as in the source editor window, where it is going to be stored? History, right? Whenever you write the commands in the console window or source window, it is going to be stored in the history. So let's say, see, first we are executed 4 ways were executed 2 plus 5. One is the select, use the run button. Second, select, control plus enter, keep the cursor at the start of the command, keep the cursor at the end of the command. We can execute a 2 plus 5 in 4 ways. Even if I have a doubt, it is going to be stored in 4 ways. Let's say here 2 plus 5 one time, 2 plus 5 second time, 2 plus 5 third time, 2 plus 5 is the 4th time. Here how many times is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 100 minus 7, how many times were executed? 2 times. It is also stored in the 2 times. That is how it is going to be stored the commands in history window. Now, only can I perform only addition, subtraction? Can't I perform multiplication? Let's say 50 by 2. How much you will get? 25. Let's say next one is here also you can write the same thing. 50 by 5. You will get the enter. You need to write the enter. Whenever you are writing the commands in the console window, you just need to type enter button only. Whenever you are writing the commands in the source editor, what you need to do? You need to select the command and use the either run button or use the control plus enter button. Let's say if I are using the console window, let's say 25 into 27 into 4. Into means multiplying. 27 into 4 means 108. Can I perform only addition, subtraction, multiplication, division? Can't I perform square root, cube root, or exponential log function? Yes, we can perform that also. Let's say square root of 25. 5. Let's say exponential of 2. Again 7.38. Let's say log of 10. Log means it will take the natural logarithm with base 10. Log means it will take natural logarithm with base 10. Log 5. 1.60. Does log work for the negative values? Does log work for the negative values? No. Log only works for the positive value. It doesn't work for the negative value. Even if you have doubt, let's see. Log of -2. NS produced. Because the reason why we get a warning, log values are working only for the positive values. It doesn't work for the negative values. What about the square root? Square root is work for the negative values. Square root works for the negative values. Let's check it. Square root of -8. No. Square root also doesn't work for the negative values. It is only works for the positive values. Okay. Now. No, in real also. No, minus square root. Square root is different, square is different. Let's say 8 to the 8 power 8, 8 to the power of 8. For example, 8 into 8, this means 64. 8 means cap means whole to the power of 8 to the power of 8. 8 times of 8 into 8 into 8 into 8 times of 8. Any questions about these things? Any questions? Yeah. Yeah.
In R, we don't work anything. Just R.
Yes, R is a backend for us. We are going to work in the R Studio only.
That's R console.
Yes.
Both are in different versions.
Different versions means?
That is 3.4.1.
That is a 3.4. This the R Studio is a 1.14. R Studio is just front end for easy understanding how what is we are doing. All this thing R Studio is just as a front end part. Even whatever the commands you are executing, what happens? It go back to the R Studio, executed over there and displayed in the R Studio.
Latest version.
Yeah, currently what we have downloaded the latest version. I downloaded in the last week only. Yep. Even if you want to, whatever the links I provided, the 2 links, I show you the 2 links, right? Go there and you can download the latest version. Even the latest version means, even if, for example, you downloaded 1 year ago. Now, what you need to do every time, what things will happen generally, the packages might updated. Here, whenever you go here, update package is there. Just install the updates. Let's say I do have these many packages. I need to update it. Just select all, install, update it. I'm not doing as of now. Okay, this is how we will do. Any questions who are on the call?
Koti,
Yeah.
can you do this global import data set? Import data set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Text based text reader. What is the difference you two?
From text base means reading the text files. From text reader means reading the CSV files into the data.
Okay. Excel will do both these functions, right?
Yes, .xls as well as the .xlsx. We will discuss. I mean, we have a next session. I mean, after I think today is Tuesday, right? On Thursday, we will discuss how do we import the files into the R. How do we perform the operation into the R? We will discuss on Thursday. Tomorrow also, again, we will discuss about the basics. We need to draw how do we install the packages, all these things, and what are the different data types. We have a various data types which are available under the R. Those things we will discuss tomorrow, right? So I just want to give the small dose every day. I don't want to give the much because this is a starting point. Here file, in the file case, here if you want to create the new files, R script means new editor window, R notebook means entire all these things, shiny text files, R HTML. For example, you open the R HTML, you are writing the code in the HTML format, so it is going to be stored in the somewhere in your web page. And here in the same case, open file, for example, as I mentioned, whenever you write the commands in the R, it is going to be, and if you want to save your source editor or editor window, it is going to be stored with the .r format. If you want to open that, you can easily open the new file. Then it is going to for the location. And here open project. Let's say open project means what happens here, global environment is in a temporary. Let's say if I close my R Studio session, whatever the tables we are created under the global environment, we will not retrieve it back. Once if you close the session, whatever the tables or files which are stored in the global environment, we will not retrieve it back. For that purpose, what we are going to do, we need to save the workspace. Workspace is nothing but combination of all four windows, whatever the windows you are seeing, editor window, console window, global environment window, all these tabs, combination of all this entire whatever you are looking in the board or in the screen, everything will be your workspace. You need to save the workspace. Workspace is going to be stored in the R data format. We'll discuss about the workspace tomorrow. Once you created the tables and what happens, we'll create the table, all these things. At that moment, we'll discuss about the workspace. How do we retrieve the workspace? All these things, we'll discuss about that tomorrow. And here, import data sets. Whatever the import data sets you are seeing from the right top, the same thing also you can go with the from text base, from text reader, from Excel, from SPSS, from SAS, from Stata. Suppose you want to save the editor window, you want to save, you can use the save button. Here it will save, as I mentioned, it will going to be stored in the .r and save as, compile, report, print, close, all these things. If you want to quit this session, if you want to quit the R, you can use the quit session as control Q also. Here edit window, back, forward, read, undo, find, next, all these things. Code means insert section, jump to particular line only I need to run, help page, all these things. For example, you want to help means here we have a see the help tab. For example, you want to understand about the one package. You may some have doubt raised that you said that I explained as a package we install the E1071. Did you remember E1071? Okay, sorry. So it is giving us the E1071 details about the E1071. What do you mean by E10? Support vector machines. If you get the PDF file, here it is asking the download PDF. Suppose you will read all the information. What is the R code? How does they develop the packages? This is the information about the support vector machine package E107 package. Who developed this product and what is the meaning? SVM currently hot topic in the machine learning community, creating similar enthusiasm at the moment. Artificial neural network. This is the what are the meaning? How do we description of, about all the data we are using? How do we perform the all these things? Let me repeat again, sir. Suppose some people have asking the question, how do we remember? How I want to understand in detail description about the particular package. For that, simple what you need to do, in the right bottom you can see the 5 tabs. Those are files, plots, packages, help. Under the help tab you can see the search button. You can see the search button. Whatever the package you would like to understand in detail information about a particular package, just type the package name over there. You will get the PDF and source code. I mean source code means whatever the code, how they created the packages, backend, how they created the packages. You will get the information. PDF file, it will give the details how the each and every function under the package works. So that is how you can learn the, or you can know the information more about the packages. That is how. Not only the package. Suppose we have a one function. Let's say I want to understand the sum function. Everyone knew about the sum function. What does the sum function will do? Sum function will add the adding the summing up the two values, right? For example, here in this, here I mentioned the sum. See, sum. Automatic sum of vector. Vector means by default, vector means by default each and every value in R is going to be stored in the form of vectors. In R, by default each and every value is going to be stored in the vector. As I said, the data types, we will discuss data types tomorrow, right? One of the data type is vector. That is the by default each and every object in the R is going to be stored in the form of vector. Vector means adding the two vector. For example, 2 is one vector, 3 is another vector. Adding the 2 plus 3, how much it will be there? 5. Here sum returns, here description. Sum means sum returns the sum of all the values present in its argument. Usage, sum of NA, here you have a NA dot RM is equal to false, right? NA means any, suppose any missing values. So let's say I am writing the manually entering the information, might be I skip the one row. Those values are stored in the NA values. NA means not applicable or not available. To remove those, we are using the NA dot RM is equal to false. How the arguments and how they created the details about the sum function. And here, if NA dot RM is false and NA or NaN value is an any argument will cause a, otherwise NaN will be ignored. That means that NA means missing values are there, it will not, it will give us some values. All these things we are storing. This is how help command will help us. And here plots, if you want to draw the plots, here the, about the plot information, right? That is all about the plot. Session, I said, right? Workspace, I have introduced the workspace. All the workspace we are going to discuss. To debug the any commands, toggle breakpoint, shift F9. Breakpoint means if you want to write, whenever in R, you can write your own function also. We'll discuss that own function going forward because this is a very basic session. In the while you are creating your own functions, at that time you want to stop on particular point, then you can use the debug point, toggle point, or debug help, or profiles. You want to create your profiling tools. What are the tools and kernels, like name, rename, or you want to create your options, all these things. Help is nothing but whatever the help we have used here. We'll discuss all these things again tomorrow, because we want to discuss more things. Just as given today, my agenda for today's session is just to understand how do we install the R, how do we install the R Studio, what is the difference between R and R Studio, what are the different windows you can able to see in the R Studio, description about each and every window, what are the operations we are, basic operation, like basic mathematical operation, sum, multiplication, addition, subtraction, exponential, log, square root, how do we perform these operations. These are the basic agenda for today's session. In tomorrow's session, how do we create the data types, what are the different data types which are available in R, how do we run, how do we create the global environment, how do we create the user defined function, that we will discuss in tomorrow session. Any questions?